Hi students, welcome to the Yep Master School Foundation program. Today we are going to deal the 6th class topic that is related to physics. Yeah, problems based on that measurement of physical quantities. Let's see. Yes, you have to see that this is the case we would like to get that. So we are going to deal that problems based on measurement of physical quantities. It's very clear. Now we are going to get that. Yeah. So physical quantities are going to be measurable quantities. All right. It's very clear. You would like to go for this one. If you are going to get this one, what do you think? Yeah. It's going to be motion. Yeah, you have to take. Yes, you have to confirm that motion. It's very clear. The position of the body or object is going to be changed with respect to the times. Yeah, you have to confirm. It's going to be there. It's very clear. We would like to find out him. What happened? Let you know. He is going to have that displacement. That is, you can confirm that equal interval of time. Does it covers that equal distance? Yeah, you have to confirm. This is very clear. As that you have to get that uniform motion. It's going to be uniform motion. Yes, it's very clear how you will confirm that uniform motion. You have to represent that graph that is going to convey that is equal distance. You have to take that equal distance in equal interval of time. Interval of time. It's very clear. We would like to confirm. Okay. Do you know graph? You have to confirm. You have to look into that matter. If you are going to take that graph, just you have to take that. This is going to be that x-axis. This is going to be that y-axis. It's very clear. You would like to get. This is the time. So you would like to get that distance or displacement in 1D. It's going to be like that. Yeah. Yes. That represent that uniform motion. You have to confirm this. It's very clear. We would like to get that. What you can measure with the help of this one? Yeah. That is going to be displacement and distance covered. You can measure. You can measure this one, displacement. At the same time, you are going to have that speed also. You have to measure that speed, all right, and velocity also measurable. It's very clear. Now let's go for that problems. You have to see. This is very clear. You have to take this one. Mass. It's going to be identified that. You have to confirm that mass is going to move that with the velocity. This is going to be that linear motion. Linear motion. You have to confirm that linear motion. It's very clear. So, yeah, you have to get that. You know, that is, you have to confirm that linear velocity. All right, you have to confirm the motion of your body is going to be along one dimension, just along one direction. Then you can confirm that the velocity possessed by that body is going to be linear velocity. All right, it's very clear. Now, you are going to get that if the same body which is going to be, yeah, you have to take that. This is the case we are going to confirm. It's very clear. You would like to go for this one. Yes, if that same body which is going to be having that, yes, it's going to be, yes, does it moves in the circular path? What you have seen, this is going to be in the linear path. It's very clear. You have to confirm this one. All right. Yes. In the cases you have to consider that angular velocity, you have to get that angular velocity. You have to consider angular velocity. All right, it's very clear, we can go for that. Yeah, linear velocity and the velocity possessed by a body which is going to have the path which is followed by a particular path. It's very clear whether it is going to be the linear path, it possesses that linear velocity. Otherwise, if we are going to take that the motion is in a one plane, like you have to confirm, this is very clear. So the motion of your body is going to be restricted along one plane in a circular path or in three-dimensional space. At that time, does it possess the angular velocity? You have to confirm, this is very clear. All right. So you have to take that linear momentum and angular momentum. Two parameters are very, very important. Here you can confirm, this is very easy. Now linear momentum is equal to, you have to take that is equal to mv bar. Just you have to take that p bar is equal to mv bar. It's very clear. We are using that bar that indicates vector. In order to indicate that vector quantity, yeah, it's going to be taking that. That is, velocity is a vector quantity, momentum is a vector quantity. It's very clear, we would like to confirm. All right, let's go further, another one. Yes, it is very clear, we would like to go for this one, what we have seen. Yes, if you are going to get that, this is the direction of motion. If it changes its direction of motion, this is going to be V1, this is going to be V2. Yes, V1 is not equal to V2. It's very clear, you have to confirm this one. At the same time, if you are going to identify that V1 and V2 both are having the different magnitude. Yes, what happened, instead of this direction, it is going to be changed in this direction. It's very clear. So it is very clear, you have to confirm this one. All right, let's go for that question. Yeah, when a body is moving along one direction, the magnitudes of velocity and speed, that is very, very important. You have to get that. Yes, you have to confirm when the body is moving along one direction, right? It's very clear, we have seen. Right. Yes, you have to take this one. This is very important. You have to take that. Yes, when the body is going to move along one direction, what happened? You have to see, you have to confirm. Yeah, it's very clear. It's speed and velocity. You have to confirm this one. Speed and velocity are going to be equal or not? Let's see. You know very well about that. Speed is equal to, just you have to take this one. Yeah, speed is equal to distance by time. It's very clear. Distance by time. So you know very well about that. Velocity, you have to confirm that velocity v is equal to, please have a look, is equal to displacement by time. You have to take that displacement by time. Is it clear? If you are going to take the quantity, just 1D motion, very clear. Yes, I am telling you one important point, displacement and distance. Is there any path or any direction does it requires in case of distance or displacement? Yes, let's see, you have to confirm, this is going to be having that distance covered by that body and displacement. Do you know very well about that, this displacement, both are going to be equal. Say yes or no, it's very clear. displacement and distance. It is very clear, we would like to go for this one. All right. Now we are going to get this one. These two are equal. Suppose you know distance is the path independent, So does it reaches in any path, whatever? Yes, you have to confirm this one. Yes, path independent. Like that you have to show this is the case. This is A and B. But you have to identify that displacement which follows the direction. Yes, you have to take that this is the case. Displacement is nothing but the shortest path between the 2 points. Just you have to take that. This is the shortest path. You know very well about that. All right. So that's what we are going to know, that whether it is going to be the distance or displacement, you have to decide the path which is going to follow that first one or second one. Okay, it is very clear. In case of 1D, one dimension motion, what about distance and displacement? Both are equal. Here distance, this is going to be the d, this is going to be the small d. Yes. So what happened here? D is greater than small d. It's very clear. You can easily understand that. Distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. It's very clear. We would like to go for this one. It's very clear. Yes, is here. Displacement is going to be less than that of distance. Distance means actual path which is followed by the particle or which is followed by the one object. It's very clear. Displacement means it is very simple. You have to take that. That is going to be the shortest distance. You have taken that. This is A and B. You can reach that A and B in many ways. Just you have to reach here. You can reach here. You can reach here. You can reach. In this path also you can reach. But only the one thing, the shortest path, that is only the one path. It's very clear. We are going to reach that shortest path from A to B. It's going to be this one only. In this way you have to reach. This way. This is the way. So that it has to follow one direction. But whereas the distance, it doesn't have direction. There is no relation at all. You can reach in any of the way. That's very important. All of you please identify. Okay, it's very clear. One body is going to be having the displacement along, motion along one dimension. What is the displacement and distance? Both are going to be the same. Say yes or no? Yes, both are going to be same. Therefore, displacement is equal to distance. It's very clear. Yes, it will took the time t, suppose 10 seconds or whatever. Yeah. Does these two are going to be equal? In case of 1D, just we have to erase that. What we have learned, okay. Just we have to go this question. When a body is moving along a one direction, it's very clear, right? Along a one direction, you have to confirm this is going to be in one direction, which is moving in 1D. Just you have to confirm. So immediately you have to write down distance is equal to displacement. You have to take this one. All right, it's very clear. At the time, if you are going to get that when a body is moving along one direction, the magnitude of velocity and speed are same. It's very clear. Yes, here distance and displacement both are going to be equal. Then you can confirm that speed is equal to velocity. Just you have to take that. All right, because within the time it's going to be t is the time, t seconds, it is going to be the time. Now you will get that speed is equal to, how you will confirm? It's very clear. Distance by time t. This is also displacement by t. Displacement by t. It's okay. Both are going to be equal. It's very clear. No doubt at all. So the magnitude of you have to confirm the magnitude of velocity and speed are equal. And speed are going to be equal. It's very clear. All you getting this one? Right. Let's have the options. Same, different, independent to each other, none of these. Just you have to see. This is very clear. Same. All right, you have to confirm that. It's very clear. Yes, you have to take that angular momentum. It's very clear. Yes, you need to consider linear momentum and angular momentum when it is possible. Just you have to see. Whenever you have taken that the motion of your body has been restricted to one direction or one dimensional motion, then the momentum possessed by that body is going to be the linear momentum, no doubt at all. Whenever its motion is going to be restricted to move along in a path, circular path, or the motion is in a one plane, it's very clear, you have to see. This is very clear, you can confirm. You have to see that. This is very clear. All right, you can take this one. Okay, if you are going to take that direction of velocity is going to be there, that momentum v bar is there, but that angular momentum you have to confirm that perpendicular to the plane of the paper, it's going to be that. It's going to be perpendicular, like it's going to be, this is P, you have to confirm this is in this direction, it's very clear. All right. Yes, it's going to be that linear momentum is going to be there, perpendicular, angular momentum is perpendicular to the direction of linear momentum. It's very clear. You have to confirm this one. It's very clear. We can know that. This is also one important point. Yes. Yes. Angular momentum is equal to L bar. Yes. So L bar is equal to R bar cross P bar. It's very clear. So what is that R bar? You have to confirm that it's a radius vector which connects the body or which is going to have position. Yes, R bar is the position vector. R bar is the position vector, no doubt at all. Yes. Okay, now you are going to confirm. Very clear. Yeah, R bar is equal to position vector. It's very clear. Yes, you can take that. Both are going to be perpendicular. Generally, if you know the formula, A bar cross B bar is equal to mod A mod B and sine theta into n cap. It's very clear. Theta is equal to 90 degrees. It's very clear between them. Therefore, R bar, P bar into, just you have to consider sine 90 degrees. It's very clear, into n cap. So, that is going to be R m v sine 91. N cap is the unit vector in the direction of angular momentum. It's very clear, you have to confirm. Therefore, mvr, angular momentum is going to be mvr. It's very clear. We have to confirm v bar. You are all going to have the look into that matter. It's very clear. We can confirm. All right. Yes. So, this is the relation what we are having with that angular momentum and linear momentum. So, yes or no? Very clear, you can confirm. Very clear. Angular momentum. It's very clear. So, based on this type of motions, let us have the problems. Okay. Yeah, the velocity of a particle changes. It's very clear, we have to confirm. Velocity of a particle changes only when the direction of velocity changes, okay, all right, or only the magnitude of velocity will changes. It's very clear. Yes, if you are going to get that, please have the look. You can talk about that. This is a one particle which is going to have that motion. It is going to move in this direction. Its velocity is going to be v1. It's going to be the mass, mb, the mass of that body. Just you have to confirm. If it has been changed its direction of motion, well, it's going to be, it's very clear. Just we have to take that. This is going to be that mass. Yes, it's going to be v2. Yeah, you have to confirm that v1 is not equal to v2, no doubt at all. Why? Whenever there exists a change in its direction, automatically there exists a change in velocity. All right, it's very clear. Okay, one thing, it's very clear. Yes, if you are going to take that, if a body which is going to be moving, yes, you have to confirm that. Yeah, if it has been reached that position, very clear. So, if there exists a force acting on this body, external force acting on this body, it will move very, just you have to take this one from here to here. Yes, this is going to be the v1, this is going to be the v2. Yeah, v2 is greater than v1. So, the magnitude of that velocity is going to be changed by, due to the external force is going to be changed. It is very clear. Easily you will confirm that. Yeah, first one is also correct, second one is also correct. Yeah, either any of these two, either first one or second one, that is either direction will changes or magnitude will changes. Spontaneously the magnitude doesn't change, it will changes when only you are going to act that external force or internal force. By means of that internal force you have to confirm, which is going to cause for the motion of a body. It's very clear, you have to confirm this one. So, magnitude will changes when the magnitude of velocity will changes. Yes, when first one is also correct, second one, but simultaneously we have to consider when either the magnitude or the direction of the both will change, then only there exists a change. Any of these, direction or magnitude, it's very clear. Magnitude related to external force. Force is only the one responsible factor which is going to be in its continuous motion, in its constant motion, or yes, if the force is going to be the constant, it is very clear. If it is not going to be constant, what happened, its magnitude is going to be changed, very clear, we have to confirm. So, like that, right. Yes, it is very clear, it is a very simple problem and easy for you, you have to consider this one. Yes, have the look into that problem. All right. A cyclist takes 30 seconds to complete half the revolution. It's very clear. All right. You have to confirm. Yes, you have to take the diagram for that. A cyclist used to complete the just you have to take that. Used to take that. This is very clear. We will go for the better. Yes, you have to take this one. It's very clear. A cyclist used to, yes, it's very clear, used to take that circular path. Yeah. To complete the half of the revolution, it's very clear. He used to take that cyclist, just you have to take that is the person, he used to take that. Yes, this is going to be here 30 seconds, here it is going to be 30 seconds, all right, it is very clear. Yes, he used to take that half of the revolution, he used to takes the 30 seconds to complete the half of the revolution, all right, it's very clear, right. What about that circular path of 135 meter radius, it's very clear, you have to confirm that. here you can take that r, that is equal to 135 meter. All right, it's very clear. What they are going to ask you, then average velocity of the person, you have to find out that average velocity. Average velocity of that person, of the person. You have to confirm, that is equal to, how you will confirm that average velocity? It's very clear. It's a total distance traveled by total distance traveled. You have to take this one. It's very clear. We would like to go for that. Yeah, we have to take that. Yes, it's very clear. It's going to be taken. That is 135. Yeah, it's going to be 135 and 135. So it's going to be taken A and B. All right, it's very clear. It's going to be the radius R. All right. So V average is equal to total distance. It has taken that. Yeah, you have to confirm this one. This is very clear. You would like to go for that. 30 seconds. You have to take that. Total distance traveled. Total traveled by total time. Total time taken, that is very important. You have to confirm this one. This is very clear. Total distance traveled, just you have, sorry, while you are going to talk about that average speed, that is very clear. Yeah, this is going to be the average speed. All right, this is very clear. But in the problem, they are going to ask you average velocity. You have to take that average velocity is equal to, how you will confirm that average velocity? That is going to be displacement by, average displacement by, just you have to time. You have to take that time total. So you are going to get that displacement, right? So this is going to be, yes, pi r by 30. That is 3.14 into what is radius? 135 by 30. It's very clear. This is one task, meter per second. All right. Now you are going to get this one. Average velocity is going to be, displacement is going to be this one. This is the displacement. That is average velocity. It's very clear. It's going to be that 135 plus 135 by time 30 seconds. That is going to be the 270 by 30. Just we have to get this 9 meter per second. That is the correct answer. While you are going to get that average speed, that is a different case. We can confirm this is a different case. All right. We are going to get this one. Yeah, average, if they have been asked that average speed, you need to take the distance. Speed is related to distance. It's very clear. You're all going to get this one. All right, it's very clear. So we would like to go for the next problem. Yes. A man runs at constant speed on a circular path of radius 140 meter. Takes that 1 hour and just, it's very clear, circular path of radius. You have to take that. Very clear. We are going to get this one. Circular path of radius 140 meter. All right. Okay. For every circular lap, just you have taken that 1 minute and 20 seconds. That is going to be 80 seconds. All right. It's very clear. What you have to find that average speed. Average speed is equal to, just you have to take that average speed is equal to, yes, you have to get that 2 into 3.14 into 140 by 80, just you have to confirm. After getting all these calculations, you can see, right, you will get that, that's going to be, you have to take that, yes, you have to, yes, you have to get that, that is going to be 10.99, approximately you will get that 11 meter per second. Okay. Okay students, we can have that very interesting classes based on these parameters. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.